Welcome back, everybody, to the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series Valorant here at GamerFest on the Red Bull live stage. And if you missed map 1, where you miss an absolute pounding that DCU just gave to UCD.
I mean, it didn't look close at basically any moment. DCU just looked so much better prepared on Lotus, and it's what you'd expect since it's their map pick, but I don't know, UCD looked very unprepared. They looked like they weren't ready for the aggression that DCU was offering on the mound and just all over the map, so I'm hoping that UCD are putting in a better showing, especially since Haven is their map pick.
Yeah, really rough one to start for UCD, and as well you're going to have the mentals to talk about, you're going to have the actual fundamentals of the match to talk about, and that's a lot to get into a 5-10 minute break to try and save the IECS LAN National Finals. But now we will go to Haven, where DCU are fighting for a 2-0. UCD are fighting to stay alive here at GamerFest.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to point this out. I always point this out, but a very common theme with the Valorant IECS is that whoever attacks first loses the whole game. And I just want to point it out. UCD are attacking first on all of the maps. So if they're just going to stick to themes, then this is not looking good for UCD. But with the character picks already, we have a very, well, not a strange one, but something a bit out of the ordinary here, which is the Phoenix coming in from Casper and Toru. So we're seeing a Phoenix comp from both teams here. Other than that, fairly standard. We do have a Sova coming in for the UCD side. Nothing really out of the ordinary so far. The entire team has picked already for UCD, and it's a standard comp other than that Phoenix. Now we're just waiting for the DCU players here, which we might get to see a Neon from the hover here, which would be an interesting duelist line.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Slush had a phenomenal map 1, was a key reason as to why DCU pushed so far, 113-3 on Lotus, but we'll just be returning to that Jet as we head into Haven. Slush, the one to watch in this map, the one who has been dominant for DCU, hasn't really been showing this level of performance in regular play, but at LAN, this is a lock-in of a different level.
And I mean, like, one thing that we do need to point out again is that both teams are picking the same comp on both these maps. So it really is just up to their individual play and their team play here. They can't talk about the comps. The comps are completely level playing field. And this is really just on the players and showing off what they can actually display here. So once again, we're just going to be looking at Slush, I think we've already mentioned, and CMD. If CMD can come back into this game, because although he did have his moments, he wasn't as alive as the duelists for DCU were. So we'll be interested to see that. And if we're looking at how UCD are looking in the start of this round, it seems like it's going to be maybe a little bit of a default here. And oh no, we seem to be going into another technical tech pause here. So that is not the best start to the map, but it is fine. It will probably be solved soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it's only a little issue involving game audio, so hopefully it will not be anywhere near as long as that first tech pause we had earlier. But you wanted to mention as well, we're talking in the sort of the pre-game beforehand, about how that last finals went for Summer, and how, I mean, it's these two teams again, but it was DCU, I don't want to say dominating UCD, maybe you will, maybe, I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, DCU, especially the first map was fairly competitive, but when it came to Lotus, it was almost exactly what we saw today. I think that UCD did manage to get a few more rounds, but DCU were pretty much in control of that whole series. So if we don't really want to see that, I want to see some life from UCD, especially because we know that they have the potential for it.
Yeah, and here we go. Big mid-ball to start. CMD again with a bit of damage and taking some as well. And this is just going to be this fast garage split to see. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on Sango, who's just playing this corner, but hasn't been checked by CMD. This is dangerous. And this is only one for Sango. Certified Turtle gets one as well. Toru trades it out, but still a player disadvantage for UCD. And it's not something you really want to be going into this round for. It's all three players pushing to carry. This is huge, and Slush is just going to farm Slime 28 HP in a 1v3, and only has the Classic, has the option of the Ghost next to him, but decides to stay with the Classic as it will be Drill with the Bandit through the wall, taking down Slime, and UCD already taking a lead on Haven.
I mean, DCU are so good at just planting their players in an angle and holding that down. Every angle that UCD has to clear, they need to fight and lose a player to 2 players for it. They are just doing so well, this DCU team, on their defensive side, and it really is playing into their strengths. And on each and every one of these maps, they are starting on defense. Now, if we're looking at the buys, obviously, UCD here are going to have to save here. This is going to be an anti-eco for DCU, and we're seeing an outlaw out on the side of DCU from Slush here, which is something that UCD were struggling against in droves that last map. So it'll be interesting to see if they can make something of this eco round, or if UCD is going to start setting the pace for another stomping, or getting stomped on anyway.
Well, yeah.
Spike down mid.
DCU looking to try and stomp again. Slush with that early kill. Takes down 2. Casper finds 2 with the Marshall. And within a few seconds, this round's pretty much done. So Elizabeth now on her lonesome, trying to find anything. Instead, it's going to be a flawless for UCD. A fairly standard occasion for an anti-eco, but still, it's starting to creep in the worry.
I mean, it's not really in a very inspiring round coming in there from the eco. Just let's walk B and hope for the best. It's definitely not going to work against a team that you know runs outlaws. So not the best. And if we're looking at the buy once again, this bonus is so strong. They have a gun on each and every player. They have that Guardian, they have the Outlaw. They do have a Marshal, which is not as strong, but this is looking very nice for DCU. Ults are already starting to build up, and UCD really probably start stressing here. I know it is only round 2, but it's looking like a repeat.
And UCD are really trying to set a high tempo so far this map. They've gone with a lot of fast hits, fast garage hit, fast B hit, trying to maybe stifle DCU, and it's worked for one for TMB, but won't work for a second, as Toru's also getting a lot of damage as the opening of Slime now rings out. Plant is coming down. Maybe a tap though. Toru's all blinded, and Casper with the Marshall takes him down. As now it's just kills coming everywhere. Every point one, but still a player disadvantage. It is only for a short while. Elizabeth trades out. Hefty needs to find his kill and doesn't. But now it's Elizabeth with the Odin, but 31 HP. And Certified Don't also 6 not being checked though. And the Ghost rings out. And DCU convert the bonus.
I mean, the alarm bells are ringing. We are only 3 rounds in, but it's looking exactly the same as the last map. That is a bonus conversion for DCU. That is so devastating for UCD, and the mental will definitely take a hit because of that. But if a team needs to start showing their mettle, it needs to be now. We are seeing a hero rifle buy from CMD while the rest of his team is only buying sheriffs. But the eco is looking so strong for DCU, and they are really setting themselves up for the long term of this half.
Yeah, CMD is actually going to sell that Vandal. And there's a player that we've been expecting a lot more from so far. But a crucial player for UCD, but instead showing that maybe replaceable now. It's harsh for me to say replaceable. CMD will be the first death though. It's the first, gets a bit of damage on the Slash, but the 3 stack towards B has worked in DCU's favour. That is until Slime takes off the head of Certified Tell. And now it's... Well, the numbers were equal. Drill has the Odin and will spam down Elizabeth. Sanglo finds Doro within a few seconds. This round has gone from looking equal to looking undoable. Marshall rings out. The shot will miss. And Drill is an easy clean-up for DCU, only losing 1 member there. I mean, 4-0 lead. What are you looking for from UCD?
I don't know, honestly. Their pushes are just not looking that inspired at all. They are just going for very headstrong. Let's hit this site and see what happens. And with Haven, a map that is so open and you have so many possibilities, you really want to see a bit more thinking coming in on these rounds. So maybe UCD were saving their strats a bit. This is their map pick, but we need to see something different, because this is exactly what they were doing on Lotus and it wasn't working out for them. So both teams having a buy round here. CMD only player with a bit of a weak gun because he forced last. Surely a bit of fight, a bit of metal coming in for UCD here.
UCD need to show something off in this round, otherwise I mean it's getting pretty difficult to try and favour them here. As Slime and Certified Turtle Slime will go down, Certified Turtle get another spam for the spray. Within seconds, UCD are down 2 players. And now it's just Hefty, Elizabeth and Toru that have to pick up whatever scraps they can from DCU, sorry, but DCU just not going to give anything away, and Hefty's even going to take more spam damage. 35 HP for the Omen, and now, I mean, what do you do if you're UCD here?
I mean, you have to find an entry somewhere. This is looking really difficult. They're cut off from almost the entire map. That B is held for DCU with the alarm bot. They have the Sova anchoring on A and 4 players towards C. There's no entry here. And if they really do commit to the C hit, which it looks like the Phoenix might, it's not going to work out for UCD at all. This is a really nice defense setup for DCU for a round that is practically almost guaranteed for them at this point.
Yeah, Slush is just going to get a few more shots onto Elizabeth there, maybe find a kill, but it's actually going to be Casper blinding himself up, but Slush finds 2, Certified Turtle gets the last 5-0 lead for DCU. I mean, all the DCU heads in the crowd and watching on the stream, they're going absolutely ballistic, but if you're a UCD head, not so much, as it is going to be the first timeout of the series called from UCD.
I mean, this is what's needed. If you are UCD, you are stressing right now. You don't want a repeat of last map. That 10-2 is devastating. You need some rounds here, especially on Haven, an attack-sided map. And to do that, you need a mental reset. If you do not get a mental reset from this timeout, then it's just not going to work out for you. Now, if we're talking about what's happening on the economy, like, this isn't looking the best for UCD, but there's definitely some ways to get back into this. I mean, you need a mental reset of your UCD. That is the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, UCD, a team that has been so frag heavy over the course of this year, has got some phenomenal fraggers and are able to end maps with nearly 30 kills. They have been silenced so far, and DCU, you know, a more rigorous team, a more strategized team, but I mean, they are doing their bit, and a 5-0 lead now for DCU. I mean, this is less about tactics and more about who's shooting and who isn't shooting, and I think it's fairly obvious to say that it's DCU, the ones that are shooting. Slush 8-2 again, phenomenal performance on the Jet across both maps, and looking to try and keep that up with this operator, as the economy of DCU could probably rival that of a small to medium-sized country. And look at this, it's going to be a rush again onto C. Sanglo's not been checked again, this has just been poor. Sanglo, second time he's been unchecked, and second time he's multi-fragged from a corner. Hefty tries the spam with the Spectre, but it's not going to find deeply squits. Simon and Elizabeth are going to get a few kills, and now the numbers are equal, and there's a few weapons for UCD to grab a hold of, although not massive ones, but upgrades are upgrades. As the spike goes down, they have this lockdown available as well from Elizabeth, but the Blaze Storm is going to be popped from Slush now, and a round where DCU have to retake, and it will be Casper popping the runner back as well, and finding that first kill to Hefty. A swing that goes a miss, but I will clear out the rest of sight. DCU. It's now Slush is just going to wait and play as the Guardian. Be careful of that garage push. Casper's just going to sit the fuse. Slime goes down. And it's only Elizabeth gets the spam through, but the spike is already halved. Slush with the Blaze Storm finds Elizabeth. And a closer round from UCD, but still not enough.
I mean, the non-corner clear from UCD is definitely not something you want to see coming in after a tactical timeout. But it's something that sometimes you just can't account for. It was a nice bait with that alarm bot, so it was really well played from Sanglo. And UCD did manage to get a little bit of a fight in there, but not the worst case scenario. This is probably the round where their strats come in a little more, since that last round was more of a save here. So if you're UCD, you have 4 ults active, you have another one coming up as well with that CMD Blade Storm, and you have your guns. This is a round where you need to put your foot down, you need to make a stand, because if not, this map is going to run away from you.
Yeah, it's already beginning to run away as the operator now sounded out. CMD's going to fight 1 and 2 whilst blinded. Slush takes down CMD though, but it's a good start. It's Hunter's Fury now used from Slime to try and access the C site and gets rid of Sanglo. And CMD's already made the quick rotation, but 4 versus 2 here on site, and Slush has been found out as this operator. It only takes a little bit of damage though. Toru is just going to throw that molly. Keep DCU away from the site as it's a free plant essentially. Now the question is, what do you do if you're UCD? I mean, I think you have more than enough way to go for it, but Hefty, the load timing is brilliant. Panaway as well gets Slush, and Slush is going to run around with his pistol out. And not a flawless round, but a much needed round from UCD.
I mean, the first round on the board for them in this map, so that's definitely a start on what could be a snowball into getting back into this game, but not really the biggest loss for DCU. They aren't that worried. They didn't really use any ults there, and they did manage to get the Hunter Storm out from UCD, but still, UCD are looking good on this ultimate economy here that they have. They still have 4 ults that they could use to break into any site they want, and it really is just the case of, are they there? Do they have the mental to continue going? And can they mount this comeback?
Yeah, and something else you may have seen there. I mean, 6 deaths for Toro, 7 for CMD. I mean, both duelists of UCD have really not been performing in this LAN final. Pressure is what makes diamonds, and instead they're so far making fools of themselves, but it could all be changed here as CMD has the blaze storm, but Elizabeth is the one to go down first. Slush with that operator as a free kill. As Reals, I mean, he's put under a bit of pressure, but the right click from CMD just misses completely. And now CMD only has the Ghost, will pick up the Vandal, and the defensive lockdown is now used by Sanglo to create some space on site. Run it back now used from Toru. This is Higgledy-Piggledy as Hefty's TP far away, but won't get the kill. Slush finds CMD, and Toru will bait the run it back. What? What on earth is that, Toru? Slime has the Odin. It's going to get cut out by Sanglo, but I mean, what a misplay from Toru.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was trying to catch the timing of being detained and then getting out of the detained, but really didn't work out for him at all. He just gave a little kiss to Sanglo there as he walked by, and I didn't manage to point it out the last round, but very well played from DCU. They played full retake because they knew that the Hunter's reign was actually gone, so they could just get into the site with that Killjoy lockdown, and 3 ults used by UCD. That is almost worst case scenario for them. They used so many ults there, and they still managed to lose the round. So not a very good look for UCD. They still have the money for a buy here, but the round after that will be a bit more scuffed on what they can buy here. And DCU, really nice retake, very methodical. They clearly have a game plan coming into each round here. So just another brilliant defense.
Yeah, just as we were speculating that this could become a snowball, instead it's a snowball that's hit the face of UCD. Slush finds one, taken down by Elizabeth though. The operator is now out of sight. It's a big positive for UCD, but they have to make something out of it, as now DCU just going to stay stationary, but they've actually left this B site open with Sanglo's alarm bot, which is now broken. So there's absolutely no info on this B, and it looks like UCD are just going to push towards B, but the problem is DCU have set themselves up really nicely here. A 3-person flank from CNA. I don't know if UCD are going to expect this, and especially considering you have Toru and Garage as well. Elizabeth doesn't check the flank. I mean, how could you expect that? Sanglo, the light timings have been fantastic so far this game, and it's so much fear that there could be someone at the corner. This time checking it, but now Casper has the brains to try and make this play, and CMD's just stuck and blind at the back site. Hefty finds one, but it's not going to make a difference. Hefty needs to find so much more, and will find nothing else for his troubles as DCU take an 8th round, and all of a sudden, I mean, it feels like they have got one hand on that winner's trophy.
This is looking very rough for UCD. They are slowly, well, not really slowly, they're quickly losing grasp of this game. A 7-round deficit for them and an 8-1 lead for DCU. This is looking really nicely played from them. Their retakes just look so nice. They have everywhere on the map that they want, and they play the angles that they have perfectly. I mean, if you're UCD, you are just grasping at straws here. This is a forced buy for them coming in. They have 3 light armors, a Guardian, and someone without armor at all. So this is pretty much the dregs here. You don't really have anything if you're UCD.
Yeah, nothing at all. And UCD are going to need a Herculean effort to try and get anything from this now, to try and keep themselves alive for map 3 of Pearl. And CMD won't get that shot into drill. Find a bit of damage, but nothing of sustenances. Now UCD just need to find something, and you know, you were talking about the flaws, but even the most obvious flaw is that they're not shooting. And DCU is this lockdown now invested on A, trying to clear the site. CMD's burnt down to 1 HP. Drill finds Hefty, but traded out by Elizabeth. And 2 players are actually going to get detained by that lockdown, but they are in safe positions. So Not going to be able to find anything. Oh, these safe until Slime is on the flag. Finds 2, make it a third. They will do. And UCD, much needed. I mean, it was something out of nothing. But what a flank that was from Slime.
I mean, very well played. He went instantly off that timing of the 2 players being detained. Knew that one of them was probably towards that A link. So very nicely played by Slime, and that lockdown as well. Very nice. But now we're looking into it. It's still not looking very good. 8-2 half. And although UCD did get that last round, their economy isn't. The economy of DCU isn't looking that rough. So there's still a lot of options here for DCU. And even if they lose these next 2 rounds, they're still in a firm lead.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is, Slush could just replay this operator for days. There's so much money on the DCU side. I think reckon there's probably more money in DCU side now than the actual university has spent on, you know, all the esports equipment that they've got. And I know they spent a lot on all the esports equipment that they've got there, thanks to IECS, but now UCD just need to find something again. Slime is going to force Slush away for now and might actually embed themselves into the cubby, but choosing not to. And now UCD have slowed this game right down from playing rushes and quick onto sites. Now just slowing it down, trying to play defaults, but it's actually going to be a grouping towards A. But this time, I mean, we can look at some of these players. I mean, there's 3 players on site. It's going to be a hell of a battle to try and get something. Slime does get 1, but Casper in the corner isn't checked for again. Will pop the running back, but this time Slime is good on it. CMD now finding 2 as well.
30 seconds left.
And it's only Slush with his operator in the post plan. I mean, if you need a miracle, this is the guy to ask, but even this might be out of his range as the AHP, and it's just going to run away with this operator. Maybe try and find some shelter elsewhere, you know, looking for perhaps an exit kill. But instead it's going to be CMD with 3. And it looks like CMD's finally starting to heat up.
I mean, he has been trying his best in these last rounds. He is that entry fragger, and it's been working some of these times, but it looks like he's finally found a bit of footing in these last few rounds. Now, if you're UCD, you really want this last round. Put it to an 8-4 half, only a bit of a 4-round deficit, which is still good. Like, they have the same amount of rounds this half that they did last map entirely. So UCD are definitely starting to wake up, and DCU losing a bit of footing here because they aren't looking as strong as they were before. Will be a Jet Knives pop instantly because he couldn't afford a gun, and some ults on the board for both teams as well.
Yeah, you got to remember as well, this is UCD's map pick as well. On Lotus, sure, if you get battered on Lotus, then when it's your opponent's map pick, then sure, you can maybe not overlook it in the way that it was, but there's certainly no more pressure us than normal. But Slime is going to open this fight up by a kill to Sango with the Hunter's Fury. Slash is just going to rush down A, and there's no presence to stop him doing so. Elizabeth will be the first casualty of the Blaze-Storm. CNT's just walked out to B as well, and he's just going to get punished for even thinking of doing that by Drill.
Remaining.
And UCD, one by one, they fall, and it's only Hefty again. The last player in so many of these situations needs a 1 versus 4, and is now blinded up, nearsighted, and Solifitel gives DCU a 9-3 lead at the half.
Switching
I mean, those signs of life that UCD were showing towards the end of the half slowly gave out there because, I mean, that was just a rough round for them, honestly. They got a really nice kill with that Sova ult, and they weren't able to follow up on it at all. Slush just walking down A, given so much space to work with, and working the map with 2 kills as well. That's massive from him. Just the usual from him, it seems. And now going into this 9-3 half, we can maybe UCD can pray for a bit of a 9-3 curse here, but it's not looking good for them at all, considering this is their map pick. So I mean, I'm interested to see how UCD can play this defense, and if DCU are able to break through it to in a very clean manner, or if it could go back towards UCD.
Yeah, I think UCD need a lot more than a miracle at this point. They need... I don't even know what they need. An exorcism, maybe? I'm not too sure, but it's going to be tempo upped by DCU as Slush finds kill onto Elizabeth. Sentinel was down. Casper's just going to burn Toru on his trades coming out, but still DCU coming out with a player advantage. Sanglo is just going to walk down slowly. Finds kill on CMD on the timing, and now it's just Slime. I mean, there's so much that Slime could do. Has been a great player for UCD, but even he is overwhelmed with 1 versus 3.
I mean, something that I will point out is that is 4 out of 4 pistol rounds that DCU have won. I mean, like you can't name a more dominant way to show off that you're a better team, at least in this finals. So like 4 out of 4 is devastating. That's a guaranteed 8 rounds practically for this DCU in the 2 maps that have been played here. So if you're UCD, that's definitely something you should look at a little more. And a very nice pistol round for them. It's just looking so clean all over the board.
Yeah, and this round already feels like a throwaway with UCD coming in to this with worse weapons than DCU. The gamble stack anywhere in particular. CMD's going to try and take an early fight against Casper, but loses out, and now, I mean, you've got not much really you can do if you're UCD. Maybe try and take this gun off of Sanglo. Upgrade from Classic to a Ghost, but against the Bulldog is not going to do too much. Sanglo takes a bit of damage, but will escape, or actually just re-peeks and kills Elizabeth. Of course, kills Toru as well, because why not? Slime gets that kill eventually, but it was long and laboured, and now Slime's just baiting for Hefty. Whiffed a little bit, but Slime gets the kill anyway, and now it's a Guardian in the hands of UCD, and, you know, this could become a bit scarier for DCU here, but Slush is holding down CT with an Outlaw, finds one, can't find the second just yet, and Hefty's actually going to be the one to take down Slush. Now this is starting to be a bit of a worry, but Casper's there to hold the ship safe. 11-3 will be the score for DCU, and 2 more rounds are needed for their hands on the trophy.
I mean, if you're UCD, it's not really good that they're approaching that match point, but at the very least, you did damage their economy a little bit for this bonus. So 2 people alive, they only managed to save that Outlaw and the Guardian. So some guns lost for that DCU side, but look at this buy. They have forced an operator. They have 2 rifles as well. Like, this is pretty much as good as it gets for a bonus, even better than that, actually, because they forced a little bit into it. So this is looking nice for DCU now, and UCD are really going to have to start putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round where you need to do it as well, the first rifle round. I mean, you lose this, if UCD can't stop DCU converting the bonus, I mean, this game is pretty much done. We can wrap it up. And it's arguably the most important round that UCD have played, so how will they deal with this pressure as Hefty holds the Guardian? Now it's just going to wait. Tempo slowed down again, but Sanglo has his operator again, and we've seen Sanglo with his operator how good he can be and how ahead he can put DCU, but there's going to be the question of can he find the timing on to B. So maybe effect towards C, bringing players towards Sanglo, and the operator finds Hefty. A bad start for UCD. The smokes have gone down already. There's little to no opposition if DCU want to enter a site, and that is what's going to happen. Casper is going to take a lot of damage from the Guardian. CNT's going to go for the re-peek, not going to find anything. Then Certified Turtle is going to be able to take down CNT. This goes from bad to worse as Sanglo's operator rings out again. Toru's on a bad haven. And it's just gone from bad to worse. Slime does find Sanglo. The operator's down, but still 4 players to deal with. Slime has to be the one to start something. Instead it's Drill with his Outlaw. Finds one, making a second. And now match point, series point, and the national finals for DCU.
I mean, this is just looking like a battering. Not even looking, it is a battering. This is looking very rough, just all around for the mental of the UCD players. And I don't think that they'll be able to reset in the time that is needed to get back into this game. A 12-3 game is just, it's so difficult to get back into. And with the amount of money that they have for this buy, it just looks like it's almost impossible. 2 Bulldogs, or never mind, a Judge, a Bulldog, a Guardian. These guns are horrible. No ults on the board. And it's just too little, too late. It doesn't look like it's something that they might be able to get through.
Yeah, well, it's an A start. CNT finds 1, but Certified Turtle with 2. Dragging DCU across the line here. And with only 21 HP, though, still could be traded out by one of the other members of DCU, but it's actually going to be a third for Certified Turtle. Casper finds Hefty as well. It's all on Slime the IGL with this operator. So much to do, but with the spike planted, the time is running out. Drill not looking the right way. Will get caught out by the timing of Slime. But now Slime, I mean, Slush is going for a knife. This is just BM at this point. Slime gets Slush, but Hunter's Fury now ready for Slime. But still has no idea where Casper is. How poetic. The two teammates on VCN to come against one another. Picked up the Bulldog, and it doesn't matter. It's Casper to confirm the win for DCU. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Became the bride in the spring series, and now has become the champion at the national LAN.
I mean, it just didn't look like a close game at all. Both games 13-3, complete domination all the way through from DCU, and it was looking like it was just impossible for UCD to break into that game at all. Such good plays from individually from Slush just the entire time throughout those two maps. He was playing outstanding. But if we're going to talk about DCU, then we really do need to talk about that their tactical play is just amazing. I think that's one of the strong suits of DCU. Of course, they're playing well individually, but they seem like they had a read on every situation, whether it be on attack or defense, and they just played the whole rounds out perfectly always.
Yeah, indeed. And I think if you're going to give an MVP award out, I think there's only one player it can be. And you mentioned his name, it's Slush. Absolute domination like we've never seen before in the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series. And to do it at a LAN as well, I mean, there is a lot of heads now turning for a player like Slush, who, like I mentioned before, hasn't been as high firing in our regular games, but at LAN, a diamond has been revealed in DCU's ranks, and it's one that has taken them to not only putting a hand on the championship, but giving them the whole damn thing.
I mean, it just looked like he's a LAN demon. I don't think there's any other way to say it. He was looking amazing the entire time. He would find 2 kills out of nowhere. He pretty much won them that Lotus defense half. I mean, every time that he was somewhere, UCD were unable to break through that side of the map. So he denied them half of the map the entire way through. So really well played from Slush. But as a whole, DCU, all of them were consistently playing amazingly. Like, I think that whoever it was that was even in a clutch situation, or if they were holding an angle, you knew that they were at least good for one just because of how well they were playing individually.
Yes, and I mean, what a way to confirm a title, a domination. You know, there's one way to go to a map 3. There's one way to beat them in 2 close maps, but to do it in total, I believe it's 26-6 across the 2 maps. I mean, domination on another level that I don't even think we've seen in the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series this season. So congratulations to DCU. One hand on the trophy. Make them both now, but we will be throwing it back to stage and back to Kurt with an interview.
Hello, everyone. We have just seen DCU win it out here. We have Slush, and over on UCD, we do have CMD. To start us off, commiserations. I know it was a tough game. Both maps did not go the way you wanted to, I imagine, at all. In terms of that, you know, how was the feeling in the comms? You know, was it tough to see, you know, how tough the game was, or how were you trying to keep your spirits up? I know you obviously have your coach Jack behind you, so you know, how was it feeling in the server?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kept it all positive. It was a fine game. They've improved a lot over the semester and season, so fair play to them. They played a good game.
Yeah, no, and once again, you know, you've been in a finals, you've been through collegiate a lot, you've seen so many wins, so many losses, so, you know, it's tough, but I assume you're going to take it as best you can, and the guys as well, do what you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind too much. You win some and you lose some, like, so, I mean, I've got my wins, and it's good for people to get their wins, and they definitely deserved it. They improved a lot over the semester from what I could see, and yeah.
No, perfect. But, you know, once again, commiserations. But on the other side, Slush, it was a good day, to say the least, in the server. You know, you had some fantastic games. It just felt like you guys were unstoppable on the server throughout. Yeah, get the hype. Get the hype from the crowd. It is a fantastic win to be able to take this here at the Ireland Esports Collegiate Series National Finals Valorant. You know, did you expect it to be like this? Did you expect it to be, such a dominant affair, or were you expecting a bit more of a closer game on your hands?
No, I mean, me and the boys, everyone came here with the vibes. We came out good head-ons today. No stress at all. UCD, big ups to UCD. They've been competing with us. The only competition really the past 2 semesters. We faced them in the first final, second final, and now there's obviously the grand final. So of course, didn't really expect us to play like this, but I think it's not really to do with UCD. I think all the boys here today just showed up today, played their game, no stress, no nerves, and just delivered a good performance.
For sure. Fantastic, from everyone. Even in the second game, you were absolutely bombing it out on top of the server, and it was just a great display here. Is there anything, do you think, you obviously see you were having a fantastic game. Do you think there was also, you've played these guys enough times. I think you both sides, I feel like you both know your play styles, you know how you run. Do you think that kind of like rivalry being set up has impacted how you prepped, how you planned, and how you kind of thought forward going into this game?
No, for sure. As I said, we've played them in the last 2 finals. First one, they edged it against us. Second one, it was also a close game. And we just kind of looked over the VODs, the games, how we played against them, adapted to our game style. I think the lads were very good at listening today as well. It was anything I said, everybody listened. We adapted well. It also helps the Casper over here. He plays for VCN. The other teammate of VCN is on the other team. So shout out VCN. Shout out HLT, shout out Drill, shout out Ethan, shout out James, shout out everyone. And
Perfect. But congratulations once again. We're gonna have them present them to your trophy here, your victory here from some of our representatives from Red Bull. Yeah, you probably head back if you'd like. I don't know if you want to. Yeah, and we'll get a photo of everyone with their bits. Perfect. And once again, congratulations to the side of DCU winning it out on the Red Bull Live stage. Great play from them. I do think we will have a quick break between the games, but next game we will be running into some League of Legends, which once again will be UCD versus DCU. We'll swap out the casters, we'll figure it out. But before then, we're going to be running, I think, to a break between, we'll be having a cosplay paneling competition running here at GamerFest. So that'll be on, I think, in maybe an hour and a half, I think is our plan. So we'll get to you then.